Shadow. You need to buy this, ne? You need to make sure that you have this in every household. Growing up, I actually, high school, I used to watch you, bro, and I'm like, this guy's really good. I want to be in the show that this guy's in. And it really happened.
Yeah, that has always been my dream, to see myself in the cinema. Like my name in starring Pallance Dladla. Boom. You know what I mean?
You guys crawled for us to walk.
People are like, hey, we see you out here. I'm like, where? In the square? Well, hold up, dog.
Hey, man.
What? It's a thin line. It's a thin line. You know, because...
Very...
Yeah. It's a very thin line.
It's fine.
Because if you forget, it's easy to forget.
Just fall on the other side.
Put together something in my mind and then implement it. But while being active, dog. Because it's the inactivity that kills. Gail has grown as an actress too, but she's always been popular. Yeah, but so that balance of, I think that balance of stardom is a very important thing that we also need to understand as practitioners of the art form and as performers of the art form. Uguti, it is a show business. You know what I mean? It is a show business, and it's very hard for purists and thespians to be or not to be to kind of like balance that out. You know, because times also have changed, and also we can't necessarily compare ourselves to what's happening in America or whatever, right? The economy is bigger, right? You can be from New Jersey now, to release something, no, in Texas by born, right? For us, that's like you releasing something here, vandaag, Ghana by born match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a different kind of economy when it comes to that, first and foremost. But of course, there's a lot we can learn from them. And when it comes to the business, you know, there's certain things that we can extract. So like, okay, fine. How do you then take this raw gift that we have, package it to bring bums and seats? And right now, I guess it's viewership, right?
Yeah.
But like, how do we then package it in a sense that we've been talking about this self-sustainability.
Yeah.
Young told.
Yeah.
You might be the dopest person, man, to ever do whatever you do. But like, if you're just in an island and nobody knows about it, it's just gold that you can't do anything about, yabo? So I think that's what I'm learning in this era, to be like, okay, industry is changing very quickly.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily how good you are. Yes, that is imperative. It's a constant that you need to have. Okay, I go for excellence, yabo? Okay, you have that ticked, but that's not the only thing that's really going to make you successful.
Bro,
right?
We're going deeper.
Yeah, I'm talking.
But on that tip of Ogoti, we need to, analyze and know Ogoti, Sitata Ipi direction. You're going in deep.
Yep.
Let's start the show properly.
I think in it.
Nistole somewhere in. And I didn't want to stop him because I need this. I need this to grow.
Yeah.
How many years have you been in the game now for?
Well, it depends where we start, but I think if we can just start from class act, that's when a lot of people got to know my work, and that was 2011. Prior that, man, I audition since I was like 7 years old.
Lena ke le bona la ka dia tsholo mailang wa thela ntse sa jing sengwa tshwane jampolo go felletse lona ngonyana wo mafo pelo qundo langa lokulunga okhuboni onontanda kuphakanyiswa ndone enye ifuna yapha kum. And this is the master key, Khojani Morai, and we have a leader, a game changer, the action man. Action. Siphethe Pallance Soja Dladla.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Let's get into that. Bam.
Thank you for allowing us to have you, brother. Thank you so much, man. It's a pleasure. It's not easy to get a hold of you. It's not. It's not.
I guess. I mean, kuya ngokuthi ubani. Kuya ngokuthi ubani. Kuya ngokuthi ubani. But it wasn't hard to get a hold of me, though. We just had to find the right time.
Sir.
We just had to find the right time.
Don't expose me. I have to make it like look difficult. What's going on? It was really hard, man. It was really hard, you know. So we had this conversation, Konamaji, and I know that a lot of people want context of Lendo Beskhulumangai, but let's just start from Ekaleni siyophuma ngayo and continue with this conversation that we were having just now. I'm really interested in knowing ukuthi Pallance Soja Dladla, Mr. Pallance Soja Dladla, ubuya kuphi? Ngowa kuphi? Ukhulele kuphi?
Imvelaphi yasekhaya mina ngakhulele eSoweto, Orlando East.
Mfethu.
Khuliswa magogo umkhulu. Umkhulu uyena owasekhaya. eNtuzuma. Yeah, bayonke indawo kahle kahle baseNtuzuma, baseNewcastle, abanye basesandlwana, abanye basempangeni.
Mfethu.
Umkhulu ofikile owashada ugogo. Ugogo is half colored, half Msotho, so yabo.
Mfethu.
And then came about my mom. I was raised by a single mother. Raised by ugogo, raised by auntie, umalume, umkhulu, sekashile manje umkhulu. And
rest in peace.
Yeah, that's really where my
origin.
How can I say my subtext?
Okay.
So where my subtext comes from, you know.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But I got the privilege ukuthi yazini uyazi thina sikhulile kahle esikhathini esiningi awulitholi ithuba lokuthi uhambe uye ekhaya. Uye esigodlweni sakini uyobona ukuthi okay sisuka la sabala. Into engisizile ngalo ngingiqambela amanga bekuyisibaya. Isibaya sangisiza ukuthi hamba wena uye ekhaya uyobuza ukuthi umkhulu ubani, ubaba kamkhulu ubani, ukhokho ubani, isigodlo sakini sikephi lokhu nalokhu, you know.
Prior to that, ubungazi.
No, I didn't care much because umndeni wami, how my upbringing is that, as I said, umagriza ukhuluma i-Afrikaans ayihlanganise neSotho. Uma already wami ukhule khona kuleyo environment where khona umSotho ngapha khona umXhosa ngalela khona umShangani ngalela yabo. So you grow up eSoweto abantu abaningi abangayazi iSoweto kahle unlike amakasi mhlambe eNtuzu mhlambe mangathi eMlazi yabo ilokishi la khona amaZulu kakhulu yabo. Kodwa ngapha eSoweto sibaningi esibuye endaweni ezihlukile. Ukhula kwakho ukhula nabantu abahlukile. You understand? Ukuthi now understand ukuthi umunye umuntu bayenza izinto ngendlela kanje. Thina senza izinto ngendlela kanje kodwa kumele kube nokuxhumana lapho. Yabona into enjalo. Iyona into iSoweto engikhumbuza engifundisile leyo kodwa kuba nzima ke manje ukuthi uconnect kahle ke nesintu sakini. Yabo? Kakhulu ke ulimi. Yabo? Izwi. So when you grow and you know this as an actor, the more tools you have, the better, right? And the most basic tools is being a triple threat, right? But then you can go deeper into that tool set, that toolbox, and go into languages and go into dialect.
I hear you,
go
loud
into
and
all
clear.
these things. Like it always goes, you know. And we know people like Ojo Mafela, you know. These people knew South Africa. All 11 languages, dog. Imagine having that skill set. It's not only just language, it's culture. You understand ukuthi labantu laba baganje, ukhuluma nabantu obaziyo when you do a story. You know.
Like you know
ukuthi the society leni kanje.
Yenza kanje into ezenzayo.
Exactly.
And that's what drove you.
So what drove me was like, okay, I need to increase my skill set. That was as a performer, but as Pallance, as Dladla, I needed to know who I am. Just like I chose this career, it was self-discovery.
Yeah.
right? And then discovering my place in the world, right? That allowed me to be like, hey, to question myself. With like, okay, what do I know about myself? What do I know about my family? What do I know about, what is this legacy thing? What have they brought down to me? Okay,
This all came from research. Ukuthi, you need to do research for this project, but it ended up affecting ukuthi you need to know yourself.
myself.
Kahle kahle.
Yes,
Nemvelaphi yakho,
yes,
ukuthi usuka kuphi.
exactly. And Isibaya just became a vehicle to help me do that, yabo.
That's amazing.
And then because of the character, vele character benjalo. Umuntu ohlukile namasiko.
Yebo mfowethu.
Yabo. And ubaba kuzama ukumbuyisa.
Ukumbuyisa.
Yeah, njalo. So it resonated in a real way for me.
Yeah.
And then then I had to go to KZN. Ngihambe ngesandlwana ngibone ukuthi kwenzakalani lapha.
Bro.
Ever since that journey, I think I've realized that I know little about who I am.
But you know.
But I know more than I did before. You
Exactly.
know?
What matters. Yeah.
And to admit that, okay, there's still so much to discover about myself and my upbringing.
Yeah.
Allows me to discover through the art form as well. So people have had the opportunity to actually watch me grow. Because you asked me how long I've been doing this, right? So sharp, from 7 years, if I can say from 7 years old or so, 6 years old, I've been doing commercials. From 12, 13, that's when I started like workshops and theater. Sinabo Aya and Tebe, founder of Actor Spaces.
Yeah.
Nabo Mdise, who's doing really well right now on
Mudise.
some bad influencer.
I know that. Hey,
Yes.
I'm proud of that, brother.
I'm loving this. Yeah, so I grew up with those guys, right?
Yeah.
So they got to know my work from then, and then obviously that just hood celebrity nyana nje. Oh, mfana lo yenza ama ads. But I fell in love with the craft when I started looking into the 3X structure and looking into storytelling from theater, really. And then when I was 18, immediately after high school, class act happened. Yabo? And my point is that until now, people have watched me grow without realizing. They see the character Agajabu when I was probably 18, 19, playing that role when I started.
For real?
Yeah, Hard to Get, I was like 21.
I thought wait, Hard to Get.
Hard to Get
Wait,
came
Hard to
almost
Get
after.
didn't come before Isibaya, nah? It was after.
It was after. It was in between. What we did, Isibaya went on for 8 years.
I remember that.
In between that, what I did, I found a way to be like, okay, I need to keep busy. So within even Nostumuna, the way he went about his career as well.
Number.
Yeah, it was very important for us because prior to Isibaya, we were already doing stuff. We were already doing things. And I've already done a few projects before that. So by the time Isibaya came, I was very hesitant to do because Isibaya was the first telenovela.
Yeah.
Other than Inkaba, right?
Yeah.
Because Inkaba was 1 year. But the proper first successful telenovela was Isibaya. Prior to that, it was just soapies, right? And that was the highest caliber of work. Still kind of is for sustainability. We're gonna get now because of figure up.
Yeah.
And I was hesitant. To do a soapy. I was hesitant because I was like, okay, if I do this, I know for sure I won't have a chance to do anything else. I know that's how it works. And you would sit down with your agent and you would discuss it like, look, man, if you're gonna commit here, you're gonna have to go in, right? And I was like, yo, there's still some things that I want to do that I know are coming up, that I've discussed, that I'm getting ready to you know what? I have to do this. So earlier on, I did a lot of no's in my career, a lot of no's. Ngiyacabanga manje ukuthi hey kube ngayithatha leya gig.
And lamano was showing
But at that time, I was cultivating the foundation of
the direction
of where I want to go and what I want to explore, you know,
Yeah.
which I still am. It's just tougher now, right? But I said a lot of no's. One of them, actually, I did do Rhythm City.
Yeah.
And then I left, but this was after I did my year with Isibaya, or 2 years with Isibaya. But my point is that we eventually got to agree that, okay, I can do other work in between.
Other work.
Yeah, so How to Get was something in between. A lot of my work was in between Isibaya.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
within a year somewhere, I need to do something else. It was very hard because the schedule is demanding, you know.
Yeah.
Especially for like the production manager, and the schedule it's a nightmare, dog. I mean, there was a time where, if I have to fast forward during Isibaya, my last year with Isibaya, because I left before it ended, I did Isithunzi, I did Shadow, I did Isibaya. And I remember that month where I was in 3 sets
All at the same time.
that whole month.
You were doing 3 productions at
That
the
whole
same
month.
time.
I
And I
mean,
know it's crazy.
I
It's
remember
taxing.
there was a week, and 3-4 of those days, I think. Ekseni, I did Isibaya until lunch. From lunch until 12, I went to Shadow until 6. From 6 until 12, I went to Isithunzi. I remember that. Yeah, that was a lot.
And you didn't faint.
No, but like you break in other ways.
Yeah.
You break in other ways, you know.
Can imagine.
You break in other ways. I mean, you want to be busy, you know. You want to be as busy as much as possible. But that was a lot. But just to let you know, I suppose like a lot of work came in between Isibaya. So How to Get, yes, I was 21.
Bro, you're a TV baby.
Yes. So
And-
abantu bangibone
and bakubona
ngikhula nabo.
manje
Bangibona manje, uthola ukuthi manje they still watching How to Get or Isibaya or whatever you're watching. Or even Shadow. I mean, that was pre-COVID. So like
Yeah, that was
yeah, you know, so like people still have that boy in their minds,
bro.
right? And then you see, but if you follow the person's work, you realize that yo, lo muntu lona ukhule nathi.
Khulile lo muntu.
Ukhule nathi, simbuka kanje. You know? So that has been interesting, to be honest.
Do you remember your first television job?
My first,
Like
my first,
be it Noma or 80 or just a television job, your first one.
my first. I think it might have been a Lifebuoy ad
Okay. Please take me
or a
through.
Blue Band Margarine ad. I don't know which one it is,
Or just pick one between those
but I
ones.
can pick one that was my Oscar moment.
And give me a journey, Yako.
You can
When you first got to that set and your experiences from a kid that ubengazi ukuthi kwenzakalani to your first like interactions with a lot of things that were going on. Like what was your? Please give me that image in my head.
Dude, you're taking me way back. Like,
We have to.
I think you can still find this somewhere in the archives.
Yeah.
It was an Absa Bank ad.
Okay.
I don't think it was my first, but it's the one that I remember.
Okay.
And the reason why I remember this ad, how it's set, right? So you see the hood, right? And it's raining. It's just hailing. And you see this almost like drone shot in a sense, right? At that time, you know, they were using these cranes or whatever.
These big cranes.
Yes. And then you see that and it goes into the hood, right? And you see this person coming from the distance, little figure coming from the distance running. It runs, and it goes into this figure, right? It goes into this figure, and you see it's this kid, obamba izenke, yabo, ozibale ngezenke kanje. And you see him run, and uyagijima, and it follows him run through this rain.
Yeah.
And then eventually afike, abeke izenke phansi, angene endlini, and then anikeze ugogo imali. Yabo. I touch him and thank you, mtanami, into enjalo nanani. It's an Absa Bank type of ad.
Yeah.
What was great about that ad, okay, this is the first time I saw like Baobizanama water sprinklers.
Yeah. So I see those thingies and so
Yes.
band.
Yes, to
Yeah,
create
yeah,
the
Zanzibar,
rain.
yeah.
Yeah, so we saw that. I saw that for the first time. But what was great, dog, everyone that I grew up with was there, dog. Like, you know, friends of my uncles, friends of my grandfather.
You
my
were
granddad.
shooting. You were shooting in your hood.
See, like 3 blocks away from my house.
Celebrate.
Yeah. and they were all there. They were all there. Like people came, Ballet's captain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was such a great moment, actually, come to think about it, you know, like those moments go by so quickly. And I think then, that's when I realized this thing is bigger than me. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, I can make the hood respect me. All right, then. All right, then.
Do you,
Yeah.
would you say that, manje njengokuthi umdala, would you say that every now and then you revisit that young boy and just like remind yourself of all those first things that you had a first interaction nazo, like that? Does it really set a reminder in your head that melo sebenze kanzima, this is where you started, and like does it drive a hunger in you, or is it the first time now that you're thinking about that young boy?
I always have to keep that young boy. We always have to keep that young boy. That's where the dreams began. Whenever I think about that young boy, there are moments in life, you know, where I see that young boy. And one of the moments was hard to get. It's the first time I saw myself in the cinema, when cinema was cinema. Like I'm telling you, when you go, there's a line, people are buying tickets to get into your movie. Like that
Wasn't
thing
it
is
an
gone.
original?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A Netflix original?
No. Hard to Get was before Netflix even existed.
So it wasn't an original.
No. Hard to Get was a film. There was no streaming at this time. Hard to Get was released. I don't know. You guys can check.
No.
You're talking about the movie.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get
because
to
we're talking about the little boy,
yes,
right?
Hard to Get, yeah.
We're talking about that little boy. I want to round out what you said about that little boy.
Yeah.
So during this time, and I still believe it was the highest point of cinema in South Africa. I mean, you know, we can argue that fact.
I know your times
But I
were-
can tell you
yeah.
for sure that year, that same year, Number came out, Hard to Get came out, Four Corners came out, and I think Happiness is a 4-letter word came out.
4-letter word.
After that, what
I think it came later.
it came later, ne?
Yeah.
Did it come after then Ilona Voyo or Bugulaga Voyo? No, that came later.
No, it came later.
Those
way
came later.
Yeah.
Those 3 films came the same year. And I'm sure there were other films during that time that I'm missing out. But I can tell you for sure, we haven't really had that wave of film like that anymore.
In a very long time.
In a very long time. And when that happened, it happened in such a short space of time where prior that, like Jerusalem, would have like Jerusalem, amazing film. But before Jerusalem, there would be like a 3-year, 4-year gap before a movie.
yeah.
Like Yesterday or something. Then 4 years before that, Tsotsi or whatever. You know?
What Heist.
Yeah, there was maybe like 2-3 years after Ilona. Jerusalem, How to Steal 2 Million or whatever. You know what I mean? So when the number came, Hard to Get came, Four Corners came. You know what I mean? And then about Happiness, bafika after nanana zafika. Khona leya shayile uvuyo dabula leya shayile was a very nice movie.
I think I remember it.
Yeah, you know, I think Nevaya came, or Rivaya came first. But one thing I know, there was a period of 2 years, 2 years, where I was like, wow, man, we're doing this film thing, dude. We actually doing this film thing, you know? I'm going to go back to the child. That has always been my dream, to see myself in the cinema. Like my name in starring Pallance Dladla. Boom. You know what I mean? In the cinema, dog. Because I remember going to the movies so many times, my nigga. Like I used to rewatch movies that I watched in the cinema. Right? At that time, phela benguma DVD nanani, yabo. So yeah, uma ngabe akaphumi le movie leyo, kumele uhambe uyithola ecinema.
Yeah.
So I would go there and probably watch it 4 times. One of my most favorable, enjoyable moments, just like stage actually, is like being there before curtain call or being there before people arrived in the cinema. I had to make sure that I'm there first. It was a thing. I gotta be there first. So I used to be there when the lights before they dim. And I'll just be there and be like, yes. Just waiting for that moment, dog. You know, especially when the cinema is like kind of like empty. and it dims down, dog. Oh, I used to love that shit.
I know the feeling, bro.
You
I
know?
know the feeling. Like,
And
not
this-
everyone would understand, man.
And that's the child. So that was the child watching those movies. So when Hard to Get came, boy, and I finally saw that happening and actually seeing people other than my family react to something that I've done and other than stage, I'm like, all these people are enjoying this thing that I'm doing. They're loving it. They're in it, dog. You know? It was the first time to experience something like that. And then looking at that kid and being like, nice one, boy.
You did
You know?
well.
Yeah.
You did well.
So yeah, I don't forget that kid. That kid goes with me in every role. I just decide which part of the kid I want to show. Yeah. You know?
And then fast forward, boom. South African industry, the South African film industry changes.
Hey, in fact.
No. This
just
time
the
it's on a
film
peak.
industry.
This time it's on a peak.
Yeah.
Sisuka kulesa sikhathi sakho lesiya.
Yes.
Lesa sikhathi kwakusasebenza nina kakhulu. In fact, you
yes,
still
yes,
do, bro.
yes.
Lesa sikhathi, bro, mina njengokuthi ngikhona manje in the film business, I always say that it's changed a lot.
A lot. Quickly too.
You guys had the real red carpets. You had real launches. You had real press conferences. You had all of these, high-end things that we don't have anymore. I'm not going to get into that. Fast forward on Netflix.
Yes.
Shay Original.
Yes.
And am I wrong to say that you guys were the trailblazers in South Africa? You're amongst the first people ungena shows as commissioner on Netflix.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Yeah. And yeah. So
Because it was you, Fuyo, Pearl. I forgot abanye abantu, but I know you were amongst the first people.
yeah, I can clarify that.
Okay, cool.
How it came about. And maybe this is the first time I actually speak about it.
Okay.
So it's an exclusive right here. So this was the last year that I was doing Isibaya. Isibaya was carrying on, and I was like, okay, I'm going to have to make a tough decision. I'm going to have to leave. And then during that time, I was doing Ishedo. And
So you doing them at the same time?
yeah, I'm about it. Yeah, remember when I told you that I was on the same set
Oh, yeah.
with like a Shadow, Stoons,
Okay.
and Isibaya? It was during that time. Was that year? And then how Shadow came about, met the guys from Motion Story, amazing group of fellas,
Yeah.
and they are really ahead in the way they do things, and it's a very simple way. And it goes back to what we said about sustainability and creating your own thing. This is where I want to clarify things about Shadow. They have a model that works for them, and they kept it small for a reason because it's manageable. But they know, okay, fine. We are in a position where we can license. We can get into licensing, right? So they own their equipment. Gareth writes and directs. He's the one that created Shadow. He's a novelist first.
Okay.
So what attracted me to Shadow was the script, bro. I didn't know Gareth and them. My agent sent the thing. And what's nice about them, Motion Story, they know who they want to work with. Like Jamil, right? Like, I want you. Like, so I've seen your work. I want you to play this thing, right? But I auditioned like everyone else, as protocol demands. But before that, I read the script. I was like, this is one of the best scripts that I've ever read in terms of like the genre of action, right?
Is this the first time you did action?
No, the first time we did action was Class Act.
No. Besides, I know they trained you for that there.
Yeah.
But like on that caliber, The international caliber.
I didn't even know what caliber it was, my friend. I was just reading the script. I didn't know what it was, who it was, how it's going to be, where it's going to play.
You were just reading the script.
I just read the script and I was like, this is one of the best scripts I've read for
as
an
a
action movie.
storyteller.
Yeah. You know, for the genre itself, action, but a type of action, you know, like a lethal weapon type of action where you can relate with this character. He's not too much of a superhero that I can't be this guy, but it's almost like a guy. He's just got a power, you know. He's relatable. Anyway, so I read the script and I liked the script, and I met with the team and we did what we had to do, did the reading and did all of these things, and we engaged in it. And when we engaged in it, I'll be honest with you, I was like, okay, this is pretty smaller than I thought, according to the script. I'm like, I wonder if we're going to do this. Because as I said, it's a small team, right? Because we used to like 100 people on set, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they had the small team. And I was like, okay, I like the script. I like the directing, man. I like how these guys are shooting. I like everything that they're doing. They are really aligned and synced. Saishaya. At that time, there was no Netflix in South Africa.
Yeah.
So the idea was for it to go to somewhere by, I think, Canal Plus or something like that.
Okay.
We're supposed to take the thing. I know I already done like things like Hard to Get, bro. So when we're talking about high caliber, for me, that was high caliber.
That was high
during
caliber,
those times,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I was like, okay, fine, we need to get to that level of work.
Yeah.
But anyway, Shapo, we do Shadow.
It's a
I like it.
licensing deal.
It's
a licensing deal.
It's a licensing deal.
In fact, they haven't even gotten anything.
Yeah.
They're just shooting with their
Yeah,
mind.
they're just shooting with their mind, and they're going to see where they're going to take it.
Where they're going to shop around.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to speak too much of their business or anything, but like, you know, they well connected when it comes to distribution.
Okay.
So they decided it was divine timing. It was God. It was God. Netflix was already making a move here, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't really have anything to offer at the moment. They still had to build a catalog and develop something. Amongst those developments was Queen Sono. So now that was already a planned thing that was going to happen. But they didn't know about Shadow. So when the motion story people took Shadow to them, they're like, oh, okay, this will be a good idea. I mean, at least that's what I'm thinking. It would be a good idea to launch kind of Netflix in the country and then prepare for Queen Sono. You understand? But when that happened, I didn't understand what Netflix really was. I didn't understand how big Netflix was.
I swear, bro.
You know what I mean? I really didn't. I don't think any of us did. I
only understood when you were on Shadow. Because
Right.
I kept on driving by these, well, not driving, but I was in a taxi. Bro, like, you know, peeping out the window, and I could see these big billboards at yours, and I'm like, yo, bro, I can see that Netflix thing. Nyambona Pallance Dladla, Gama Pettingada, you know what I mean? Like, then I was curious. He knew Netflix.
So I was just like, okay, it's another channel, it's cool. It's only when I started now connecting to the relationships that I've been building overseas.
Yeah.
That people are like, hey, we see you out here. I'm like, where? In the square? Well, hold up, dog.
Hey, man.
What?
Hey,
you know?
Hey.
I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, so people know what we do, you know?
Big time.
And I'm like, okay, no, this is good. So for me, I've always been, when I'm thinking about my career, there's a flip side of a coin to it. I've always been like this guinea pig, this person who goes over the hill first and finds out what the hell's going on and come back and be like, yeah, don't turn left, hey. When you get that side, just, you know.
Yeah.
But also like a pioneer in some aspect of things.
You are.
You know, looking at basically the first successful telenovela, right? Looking at Class Act first and foremost.
Yeah.
What Quizzical did with Class Act to create a young leading man.
Yeah.
Prior, me and Stomo and that era of Class Act. You know, Abo Tabo, Abo Yonda, Melusi, they're all working now. Abdul, like, you know, everyone. Tumingumla. The list is endless, right? Some of them are producers now, you know, or Danny, they're doing well on the international stage and all these things, right? Craig, all these people that we see. Donovan Marsh, the creator of, creative producer of Class Act and in Number,
Yeah.
saw that we need a star quality system here in South Africa, a person that people will see themselves in and grow with that person. Donovan Marsh was the first one to be like, I'm going to take young people and make them stars.
Donovan has
Because
been
prior
a big
that,
name. Yeah.
it was like Miss Bona Pella. I mean, look at Jerusalem. Like, you had to be at least 40 plus, 40 years old plus, or
And above,
35,
yeah.
or, you know, that's when it starts, actually, and above for you to play a lead.
To be a leading man.
Yeah, must be you wouldn't see them as, like, you know, leading a film at 20, at 19. That never existed,
Yeah.
ever. Class Act did that. But Class Act did that in a genre form. And Domo was the first one to be that.
Yeah.
To be that young leading man that can handle an action film.
Bro.
Do you understand what I mean? Right. And he was paired with Abo Presley as well. And you're going to understand, these people are like actually same ages in a sense, right? So basically Presley was the first one. Presley was the first one, you know.
Warren was amongst
Warren. Now Warren, you know, there's another thing, Warren, you know. So if you're looking at that caliber, for me, I got introduced into this leading man thing from Class Act. Yeah, bo? And leading an action genre type of like a wave.
Yeah.
You know. Because after Class Act, the number, then Hard to Get came through, which I still haven't seen a romantic action comedy like that, bro.
Yeah, bro, you killed it there, man.
Now, besides, I think just away from me for a little bit, but like the team and Uzinduli, and Tom Morris, like what they did, like how they did with just that genre of this Clive, Bonnie and Clyde type of thing.
movement.
It was beautiful because at that time is that, okay, after a number, that's a boom action movie. How do we then make it different? How do we make it different? How do we make it young? How do we make it like, and then what they did is like, okay, we're going to take this into a younger world, you know? And they did that in the genre. And I'm like, yo, bro, that was so beautiful, you know? So looking at that was like pioneering that, or being the guinea pig of that kind of like genre, you know? Then we fast forward, like you said, okay, Isibaya first, kind of like telenovela. Now you're speaking to the people, everyone. That was the first time ever in my life I spoken to someone younger than me and people way older than my mother. That was the first time that aligned. Like, oh, okay, now I'm speaking to generations, basically. And we touched a little bit about that, about what it meant for me personally, for my cultural significance and upbringing. We fast forward now to the streaming. The first streaming thing now, it's Shadow. You know? Another change, man, that we have to adapt in and like, yo, okay, wenzakalan, you know? So, yes, I've always been that thing of like, whenever there's just a tip of change, I always want to find myself there. Whatever it is, I just want to find myself there. Okay, let's keep on. You know?
I always say that you guys crawled for us to walk.
Yeah.
For us to walk. Because there's a lot of things that we do effortlessly. But when you look back, these guys didn't do it like that. Or these guys, so every time, I picture it as a product. Every time. Figure this, they have to be the ones that are going to test it if it's Ospana na the market.
It's almost like you experimenting on yourself, right?
You
like
get me?
first.
And then Tina says, figure, You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
sesifundile basitshela nabo mfana mufika lapha, like what you said, you picture yourself as a guinea pig,
Yeah,
ne?
yeah,
Ezohamba ifike ngalena ibone ukuthi kwenzakalani, and then ibuye izosho ukuthi buka yenza kanje mufika lapha. So I've always pictured you guys as that, and I feel like you gentlemen have no idea how much groundwork you've done.
Look,
I'm sorry to say, I feel like you don't have any idea, but like, this is just what I feel. You guys have done a lot
I get you, my friend. And
for
I
this
think,
industry.
I think it's also because, to be honest with you, you realize that idea the older you grow in the industry, that, oh, yeah, well, they did that before me too. You know what I mean? No, they crawled so that I can walk.
You can walk.
So that you can run, so that we have people who can fly now. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it is, bro. That's how it is. And that's the legacy you want to keep actually passing forward. Not the legacy of no, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying. And in fact, when I look into my career and that acknowledgement, that being seen, that validation,
Yeah.
you get to learn something else, man, that it's a tricky line. It's a thin line. It's a thin line. You know, because...
Very...
Yeah. It's a very thin line.
It's fine.
Because if you forget, it's easy to forget.
Just fall on the other side.
Why you actually did this in the first place. It's easy. Because the more validation you get, you think you're doing it for that validation. And it's easy for you to forget that, no, that was not the reason that you were doing it in the first place. There was no one in the room when you started this thing. I mean, I remember, dog, when I started, because you were like the groundwork, right? And I'm going to circle back this validation thing, but we were talking about the groundwork.
Yeah.
Dude, like when I started, I used to go to the internet cafe in Fed. Download e-script from like a stage or movies or whatever. Learn them and perform them by myself. I did that to a point where I felt like I was good enough to bring a friend in to watch me perform. Because I just wanted you to watch me perform. That's it. That's it. There was no, you know, and then I did that for my mom and them, you know, like, because I remember that the idea of going to an audition was like ingrained in me since I was a kid, right? To go to auditions with my mom for commercials.
Yeah.
So by the time I did theater, 12, 13, I was already taking the initiative to learn how to do this thing. I'm an audition bese wayenza mfethu, like bowabhala ephepheni ukuthi okay uQ Marshall uzothi uhambe uye la kule ndawo le uyehle lapha uyehle ngamakhishini uhambe uyele emakhishini ujike ukuthi uyithole indawo kumele uyithole baba ama audition baphuma ephepheni mfethu, like ephepheni amakhathala kwamaphepha ukuthi okay kunama audition wanani la.
For real, bro?
Yes, dog.
Newspaper?
Yes, dog. Like my first showreel was in a cassette. a VHS cassette, dog, with all my ads. We had to do that. We had to find a way to get all of those things so they can put them in one thing. Yeah, like, Mbijami. Like I come from a point where people were focused pulling from the camera.
I remember the Ubambi lens. Ubambi camera, ubambe ne focus.
Bambi focus ganda. No, bekhona DOP bambi camera fike nje focus pool ebamba.
Ibambe ngala I focus on the camera.
Shut izinto zakhona bitch, I'm like things have changed, dog. And speaking about groundwork, bro, like I remember how I used to sit and think, oh, dog, Jack, I'm going to work with this guy.
I'm going to work with
and
this guy.
And I did. Worked with Jack. Maybe you worked with Jack.
I mean, that's the same thing. Dog.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No. So, by week, So, dog, pride doesn't help.
Yeah.
Actually, I also, growing up, I actually, in high school, I used to watch you, bro, and I'm like, this guy's really good. I want to be in a show that this guy's in. And it really happened.
Yeah. Power of the mind. Man.
It's the power of the mind, bro. Whatever you
Power of the mind.
feel, you think and you see,
Power of the mind.
translates.
And not to lose track on what I was saying about validation, what's very important is that through time, because you're getting it so much or you're not getting it, right? It's either you're getting it or not getting it. It becomes the thing that you seek. And what happens is that now you lose the direction of purpose, you know? I've always prayed to God to bless the fruits of my labor. But through time, I found myself worshiping the fruits of the harvest and not the vine that produced it. You understand?
Yeah.
I found myself worshiping the fruits of the harvest, but not the vine that produced them, right? And you lose almost the connection of why this thing mattered in the first place. You know, and then you start seeking those fruits that will never necessarily be everlasting anymore, in a sense.
True.
Young tall. So that validation thing has to come from within, bro. Somehow. Whatever faith or religion or it's fine, but ultimately you have to find a way to validate yourself because you're going to keep seeking something that you'll never get ever, right? Yeah. So I discovered that moment, that kid, boom, finally seeing my name right there in the cinema. It's full, it's dope, people are loving it, dog. But I still want more, right? So this hunger keeps happening. And then we did a film called Zulu Wedding, which went to LA for the Pan-African Film Festival. Yeah. Because that was my dream. Like, I want to go to LA. I want to work there too. I want to work with these guys. I want to work with Denzel. I want to work, you know what I mean? Yeah. And at that time, I've already been building relationships with, God bless her soul, love her so much, with Tasha Smith.
Tasha Smith, yeah.
My mentor,
shout out.
She pulled out for me, man. She's so hard to get. That's how we met. And we were speaking digitally, like online. I thought, this is a troll. Okay.
So first interaction,
it was on social media. But we kept on talking. Then eventually we actually spoke. We did like a FaceTime. Was it FaceTime? We in the end. Yeah, we FaceTime. Skype, yeah. What you cooking? Bro. Skype. Yeah, so Skype. I thought, okay, I know who you touches me no mama ngathini we. Yabo. Isibaya, and eventually she came here because she's got a school. And that's when we started really getting involved with actor spaces and really building that foundation with Ayad. So we brought them through. We did a nice collaboration of her coming through. And because she's actually been to Botswana before and things like that. It was the first time in the country. After that, that's when Shadow came. When Shadow came, I went that side. That's why I went that side. I went that side because there was already something JC Kulumayo. Yeah. Right? And that's what Netflix did for us, dog. Netflix actually just put us, dog, on with like, there's dope actors like this, apparently, you know? But yes, I got there. Anyway, going a little bit back to Zulu Wedding, get there, dog. And I'm there, I'm in LA, bro, for the first time, you know, and I'm there, you know, Tasha she did a lot to support me when I was there, which was great. And I'm really, really grateful of that. And not just support, just to be there in the but like real support, like knowing real people, real game movies, you know what I mean? And also going to their school and finding out what they do the caliber of what they do. So that was great. And then this night comes. Now I'm watching myself in the cinema, a packed one, with people around the world. Good. There it is. This is the dream that I wanted, right? So I'm watching this thing and people are loving it, you know? And then I go outside just to have a break and I think about my life a bit. And I'm like, okay, it's happening. But it's not enough. Why? You know, it was such a strange feeling. It was the most strange feeling.
I know what you mean.
And I was in a room with like, I mean, whoever, dog. Like, I don't like name dropping, but like I was
movers, bro.
With
like
movers,
big
you know what I mean?
In the game,
And I'm like, okay, cool, it is happening, but I don't feel like it's enough. Like it was kind of like some sort of imposter syndrome or whatever.
Now I'm here. So what's next?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like years into it at the time, it's just like, oh no, you're trying to seek validation from somewhere else than here. You know what I mean? It was that thing. And it's me now as a young man discovering that with, okay, how do you now validate yourself, bro? How do you give yourself flowers? And I think the best way is where the move is at right now. 2026, where people are like, okay, I got to do my own thing.
Yeah. Speaking
You know?
about doing your own thing, I'm really curious to figure out what has been that one thing that you've been pushing since ukhuluma doing your own thing.
I mean, I think through time is obviously developing projects,
Yeah.
trying to see if they can get commissioned or licensed or anything like that. And that has been, the road.
You don't have
I'm
to
proud
go
of,
deep, yeah,
I'm trying to get to where I am now,
Okay.
Along that process, I'm really proud of the work we did initially on the foundation stages of actor spaces.
Yeah. So you're one of those people.
Yes, it was me, Stumo, obviously Ayanda, the founder, and Abu Felicia, and a few other partners who were there, just to build that thing. That guys, we need something here. We need something here to space it. Whatever that space is, it will grow into whatever, and then. So that foundation was very important to lay down that, okay, fine, actors can come and learn and share, network, grow, create, and hopefully somehow benefit from each other.
There you heard it. Yeah.
So I was really proud of that. And then moving into other work that I've done outside of acting, going to a Sandlwana and spending 4 years teaching those kids.
I've been seeing those clips.
Yeah. We developed a self-development program of confidence, using storytelling techniques, poetry, dance, to evoke confidence in the kids, but also to let them know that you can be yourself. It's okay to be who you are. Kakhulu mabuya emakhaya kunzima, mawusuphumile, so eGoli or mhlambe to a city or whatever, you get intimidated, one, by the culture and the language, because the language has a connotation, especially abantu ababuya emakhaya. Umlungu has a connotation. Isilungu itself has a connotation. Isingesi.
True.
So there's an approach of fear to that language.
Yeah.
So it affects their marks. It affects them actually doing well outside of leso skolo leso, and you see the young boys, man, the confidence levels are low, especially the boys.
True.
They're low, bro. Like it brings tears to my eyes. And also, like, these are underprivileged schools, like compared to talking about 70-something kids in a class, 100 and something kids in a class. So when we go there to do our thing, in one day, we would have maybe like 2 schools, and teach 300 kids in a day, and we'll do maybe like a week. So 300 times 5. And bayasa-separator, ungakhohlwa bona mabafunda by 100 eklasini labantu jo. Ingozi. So you can imagine ukuthi nje lapho nje impumelelo yakho is limited, But anyway, went that side to do work there, which we continue to do.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see how certain things that if we had the privilege and the opportunity to have, like, if Usikunene come and talk to you in your school, bro, what would that have done to you?
So much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you had these people come to you, like mfethu afike kuwe, Duduza afike akhulume nani, like, having you go there to speak to the kids.
Yeah.
And just tell them there's other ways to learn. We don't all have to be good at maths. We don't all have to be good in whatever. We don't all have to be stars. We don't all have to be the actor or whatever, there's something in you that you can do. You just need to be confident about it and learn how to articulate it. And then use the English language as a tool and not necessarily as something that's, because it's a tool, it's a double-edged sword that can either ingakulimaza or ungayisebenzisa ukhandla izinto, yabo. So use it as a tool to shape your life, but not to determine who you are. In fact, bring whatever that you learn ekhaya to the outside world, because ziningi izinto sisifunda ekhaya mpijama. You know, from abazali bethu, from ogogo, like ziningi izinto ongazithatha nawe unikeze abanye abantu ukuthi lalela. I know you from I don't know, you're European or whatever. I'm African. This is how we would handle the situation better in our culture. See if this could be something that you could try. There's a great value of exchange of cultural knowledge that we learn, whether from Ikasi or Nomu from Mamakaya or wherever you're from, right? You can take those things, right? They don't have to make you who you are. They can be a part of who you are, right? And then if there's things that you don't need, take them out. For example, in our class, we'd had this thing, okay, as mawukhuluma nomuntu omdala emakhaya, kumele ubheke phansi. But when you're in an office space and in a leadership position, you gotta be here, bro. We gotta see you. So these are the basic things, bro, that you pick up. But anyway, so we did that, and that made me like, okay, now I'm confident that I can do more than this acting thing, because that has been my biggest thing. With like, shit, man, I feel like I am a slave of my own gift, you know. And again, going back to that kid, like, kid, are you okay? You know, the child in me, like, right, boy, because I'm no longer a boy now, I'm a man. And it's very important for me to understand what manhood needs, you know. And I cannot be a slave of my own gift, bro, you know. So growing now to where we are, understanding what, okay, we can create things, guys. It's very important. And how can you extend beyond your sector and play a bigger role in the community? And that for me was this thing that we have here.
This bottle right here.
What we have here is called
right here.
Palevate Nutrition, as you can see right here, the sexy bottle. Now, really the mentality of it started exactly from that. Like, okay, there's a lot of things that we can't control in empilweni yethu. You know? Especially if you're a goal-orientated person, you objective-driven. We ask, like, I have to meet these things. Well, you can't control everything, right? We pray that God give me the strength to control what I can and to accept what I cannot.
Yes.
Life can get overwhelming, bro. You know, life can get so overwhelming that you feel like I'm losing grip of everything. And because I've always been a person who always goes to like gym, there was a point where I was like just feeling like that. And I was like, okay, let me just go exercise. Then I realized that after exercising, I feel a different way. What is this? Right? Then you do a little bit more research. Then you realize with a lot of stress that's happening is actually something that's chemical, psychological, self-inflicted. You can get through a lot. You might not control a lot of things, but you can control your mind, you can control your body. And that philosophy of being able to control my body and mind is something that I really wanted to invest in as much as I did on my acting. I wanted to invest on that thing completely. Like, okay, how far can I control my body and mind? And what happens is that the more I did that, the more I found strength, the more I found confidence, the more I allowed chemically whatever's happening to the dopamine, whatever's happening to the serotonin, whatever's happening to all these, my endorphins coming out and all these things happening, it helps the brain to breathe. It helps the brain to put pieces together without stress. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting these ideas. I'm getting these things to put together. Even like when I'm preparing for a role, I'll spend time in Jimini really thinking about the role. You know what I mean? But it became a time of meditation. It became a time of preparation. And it became a time of where I can put together something in my mind and then implement it. but while being active, dog. Because it's the inactivity that kills. Like, uklala, right? You've got to be active. So having the body and mind work together created Palevate Nutrition, which is the elevation of the mind, which is the elevation of an attitude, you know?
This is amazing. This is amazing. Like I heard you speak about, you know, this at some point. You know, angazi ukuthi busoyenzile ngaleso sikhathi, you know. But to me, I didn't know that it's a masterpiece like this, bro. Like mangibona, come on, bro. What else do you expect from a Pallance?
Straight up.
If uzokhipha ibhodlela lamanzi mina ngexpect ukuthi libe nje. You know?
Nje.
So from yonke la misebenzi usuke kuyo, it's also a proof that asiwaste imali.
Hey.
Asiwaste imali.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go off of a bit of a tangent. Wonke la mabhaz shadow. You need to buy this, ne? You need to make sure that you have this in every household. Yeah. Because without each other, we are nothing. We need to support each other. And yeah, we're proud to say that this episode has been sponsored by Palevate Nutrition. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much for that, man.
Love, okay.
It's crazy. You know, not a lot of actors do this. And a lot of us, Sialo. Yeah. Sialo.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're out of time. We're out of time. You know, Waitasa March here with Pallance Dladla. It's been really fruitful. Before we go, cheers. Hala.
Hala.